Hey, Raw Motivations here. Thanks for coming back and watching another episode. Hey, would love to have you follow me on a couple other platforms. If you haven't seen me on different platforms, I'm out there. So Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Would love to have you on there to be able to follow, kind of see some of the short videos that I'm able to put out and just interact with a whole nother community, a whole nother set of people that are out there that maybe you haven't interacted with or that you haven't talked to or just seen their stories. If you're interested in interacting and connecting with an actual community of like-minded people, of people who have been through narcissistic abuse or have had to go through the trauma of living and dealing with a narcissist, then check out the link on my website for the Narc app. So it's a new app that just came out recently that we have there to be able to help people who have gone through abusive relationships and who have gone through those toxic relationships where they've been trauma bonded, they've been love bombed, they've been gaslit, everything like that. And really they need to find some comfort in having some other people who've been through that situation, but also find some tools to be able to help them to grow, ways to be able to track and show their progress as they're breaking free from the narcissist, as they're going no contact, as they're learning to speak truth back into their lives and get free from all the lies that have been put on them by another person. If that's something you're interested in, there's courses on there, there's some activities, there's also some live interaction as well. Also with the members in there, you have a community where you can share what's going on and they can help lift you up and kind of help hold you as you go through some tough times. So if you're interested in being a part of a community like that, that's growing and changing and constantly evolving, then please go to my website, rawmotivations.com, and click on the Narc app, and you can download it from Android or from Apple and be able to get that on your phone so you can have those tools and resources wherever you go. If you go to my website, you're going to see a couple different things. One is that I do offer one-on-ones, and that's where I'm interacting with people on a day-to-day basis for now, where I'm talking to them a lot of times dealing with narcissistic abuse survivors. So the people that have been through the shit that the narcissist put them through. And really, I try to sit down with them and talk to them one-on-one, kind of meet them wherever they are, and then work as best we can to process and go towards healing and growth. Because that is what we need to be doing. And oftentimes you can't do that when you have the narcissist stuck in your head, when you have that trauma bond, when you have so many things that are fogging up your head. That's my goal, is to help you get clear. Get clear about what you want, get clear about what's going on, and get clear about those pesky feelings and thoughts sometimes that just keep wanting to drag you back, wanting to pull you back to the narcissist. I do talk to some people that say they're narcissists or say they have narcissistic traits. A lot of times to no avail, because if they contact me, sometimes they're just looking to justify themselves, or they just want to get a quick fix and then move on. And it's not going to be that way. If you're narcissistic and you want to talk, would love to talk to you, but understand you got to stop lying and you have to do the work. If you're not going to do the work and stop lying, then don't waste my time. Don't waste yours. Anyways, now that you guys are here, thanks for listening to all that. Now that you're here, I wanted to talk to you some about narcissism in terms of, we all know that a narcissist often bashes other people, often puts other people down, demeans them, discards them, all types of stuff. And we see that over and over and over again. But sometimes in the narcissistic relationship or the toxic relationship, you'll see someone who's kind of a vulnerable or a covert narcissist, where they come into your life and they're not really coming in and putting you down. But in turn, they're actually putting themselves down. They're saying how awful they are. They're saying how they don't deserve you. They're saying how I shouldn't even be here. You deserve so much better. I don't see why you're still here, why you still love me. I'm no good. All this type of stuff they'll keep saying and keep saying, keep saying. And oftentimes that promotes a response from the other person of, no, of course, I want to be here. I want to help you. I want to work with you. I love you, all this type of stuff. And to the narcissism that's kind of going in that person, that's awesome supply, because they're playing down the things that they want. And as a result, they're getting more of it. They're getting more of the other person, responding, of reaching out, of trying to care, of trying to help, and things like that. And so you'll see the narcissists often manipulate in some pretty devious ways, where he'll come in, or she'll come and get to the place where they say this, they'll be why don't you love me? Or don't you love me anymore? And they'll start playing down regular activities that might have been throughout the entire relationship. And then all of a sudden they're not good enough. right? You've seen that on one side of getting yelled at. You might have also seen on the other side of, hey, they're not good enough now because, well, if you loved me, you would do this. Or why don't you love me? Like, I thought you loved me more than that. Or I thought, insert there, they'll keep asking, they'll keep saying different things about, why don't you love me anymore? Oftentimes you'll see a narcissist that will turn it around. They'll turn it around on the other person. So you come to the narcissist with your feelings, with your thoughts of, hey, like, I haven't really been seen or heard, and I feel like you're like upset at me. Well, I feel like I haven't been seen and heard, and you've definitely been upset at me, and they'll throw that back at you. Because that's what a lot of narcissism does. They can't handle the facts. They can't handle the truth. So as a result, it's so much easier to push back and push it on someone else than it is to actually hold that accountability and be honest about it. I know that because that's what I struggle with. In dealing with narcissism on a day-to-day basis, I still struggle with the fact of, hey, when someone comes to me with their thoughts, with their feelings, with their emotions, I need to take a step back and I need to wait and listen. Like, actually listen. Because I've always listened to respond. I've also listened just so I could justify. I've always also listened so I could make fun of or so that I could rebuttal whatever they're saying. But typically whenever someone would say something, I would all of a sudden identify it with it magically and be like, oh, I feel that way too. You're sick? Oh, all of a sudden I'm sick. You're feeling sad? Oh, I'm sad too. Because my pain, my frustration, my heartache, whatever it might be, has to be greater than yours. It has to be bigger. Because as a narcissist, I'm always feeding that ego. I'm always feeding that I'm the king of the world, that I'm the number one person, that I am the sun and the world revolves around me. That's what narcissists oftentimes think. They might not know how to say that, they might not know how to put it in words, but they do it with their actions of expecting everyone to absolutely adore and worship them and bow down to them in one sense. So they'll get that a lot of times with those angry attacks, with those yellings, with those demeanings, but they'll also get you to come back for them and to work that whole magic in one sense of what they're saying and what they're doing. They'll also get you to do that by talking down about themselves. You'll see many times where narcissists will get to a moment. It might be throughout your whole relationship, or it might be a moment in the relationship where maybe you caught them on something and there's no way out, and they might get a little bit vulnerable, or they might get a little honest in the moment because they're trying to extend it. They're trying to last a little bit longer in the relationship than get caught. So they might, come down on themselves oh, well, I'm just such an awful person. You don't deserve to be with me. You should be happy with someone else. You really should just go, live your life because you're obviously not happy with me. And they'll talk down and down and down and down. As a result, you'll end up trying to reach out. No, that's not true. No, this is how it is. No, I love you. And as a result, they feed on that supply over and over and over again. And as a result, they slowly pull you in a little bit more and a little bit more at a time, where you start thinking hey, I can fix this person. I can help this person because they've got low self-esteem. They've got issues. They've got things that they're scared of, things that they're worried about, all this type of stuff. When in reality, no, they're just talking down on themselves to get you to act more, to get you to respond more, to get you to try more. Because as a narcissist, if I can get you to try, if I can get you to pursue, that's pretty amazing, because that's fulfilling my self-fulfilled prophecy of I'm number one and all these people are about chasing me, are about running after me. So as a result, I'll talk down on myself, be hey, I'm the worst person ever. There's no reason you should be with me. And then that invokes something in the other person of saying the opposite, of coming back and trying more, of pursuing more. So if you're in this type of relationship and you constantly see a pattern of this, be careful, because it might not just be someone who's dealing with low self-esteem. It could be someone who's actually struggling with the aspect of narcissism and ends up using it in a manipulative way or an abusive way. If you're in these type of relationships, be careful and do a lot of self-assessment of what's going on in the relationship. What's the facts that is actually contributing to the relationship of how this person acts. And you can look up the DSM-5. You can see narcissism. You can see different aspects. And not that you're out to diagnose anybody, but you are out there to say, hey, these are the traits that this person is exemplifying. And these traits match up bestly to narcissism or borderline or antisocial or histrionic or whatever it might be. And looking at those different facts and looking at different things to say, hey, this is what I might be dealing with, so let me take precautions. Let me make sure I have boundaries in place. Let me make sure I hold my ground. Let me make sure I leave if things don't get better. But anyways, stay safe out there. Would love to see you guys sometime on one of those social media platforms. If not, keep subscribed and keep watching. Thanks so much.